Hello friends and welcome to Runescape, and today I'm going to showcase my very first guide. This will be generally about higher tier level clues on how to get them and how to solve them, with tips on how to use Alt 1. Hopefully you guys will find it very useful. And this may not be the perfect guide out there, and if you think there are other ways that may be more efficient, please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts about this clue guide, and if it was helpful for you, let me know. There will be video timestamps in the description below if you are looking for something in particular. So be sure to check out the description, and make sure you like the video while you're at it, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Stick around for more RuneScape related content. And starting off, the thing that is going to help you get clues the most is the Scripture of Bik. It is used to get catalysts of alteration, which can help you get multiple clues at a time. As you can see, this time I only got one, but I think just a few minutes ago I got 3 hards. So this can pretty much proc every minute. It's just based off RNG. But yeah, you're going to get a lot of your clues, mostly elite clues. Now, how are you going to use the book? Well, you need to do anything that is non-combat. So any gathering skills, any support skills will get you there. I suggest doing something with gathering or something like this when you're first starting out. Now, the skill I chose was a support skill, smithing, and there's a pretty good setup on the Clue Chasing Discord on how to use Prosper Smithing is what they call it. Now, using the Prosper perk is going to give you a chance to passively gain extra clues, and other perks you want to look out for are Breakdown 6, which can help you get extra invention components, and then Fortune 3, if you can get it, has a small chance to save to make an extra item actually. So you know, if I'm making these this Elder Full Room Helm +1, it has a chance when it finishes to proc and give me an extra one, and it'll send it automatically to my bank. Other things that are going to help you out is the Orphan Core. This can give you a chance to spawn fire phoenixes, which can be claimed as fire spirits, and these can be automatically claimed by using firelighters. As you can see it down here, I've got the firelighter buff, and it will basically just let you automatically catch the fire spirits. And to get better rewards with the fire spirits, you can use the fire making cape. It's the 99 fire making cape. It pretty much just gives you better rewards from the fire spirits. On a second note, you also get an extra 0.3 buff when you have firelighters burning as well. You can get up to 1.3 times on your reward rate. Now, of course, you can always wear your Grace of the Elves to get those Saren spirits also, along with the Catalyst of Alteration from the book. Some things that'll help you with inventory management. Now, these fire spirits can also give you clues, and you want to be able to stack those into your clue carrier. Any clues you do get, whether from Prosper or from the Scripture of Bik, will automatically go into your clue carrier, which is very nice. You occasionally get gems, so you want to bring a gem bag, or if you've fully upgraded to the Artificer's Measure, bring that so you can store gems in it. And if you want to fully AFK with the Scripture of Bik, you're going to want to make sure you have Spirit Attraction Potions, and these can be extended with using Lantidime Incense Sticks. You can get up to 8 minutes per dose, so it saves a lot of potions in the long term. And if you're still working on getting XP, you can of course bring your blacksmith outfit if you've unlocked it. It'll just basically give you more XP overall. I'm actually wearing Silverhawk boots along with this so I can get that passive agility. And looking at some of the rewards you can get, it's a bunch of charms and runes and some stone spirits, and occasionally you'll get Phoenix feathers, and these can be sometimes annoying because they'll slowly fill up your inventory over time and you'll have to rebank, but I mean, you have to bank anyways to put up your smithed items. Now, the key to this method is you want to be smithing for as long as you can, and to do that you don't want to reheat your bar. You want to keep it at minimum heat, but of course if you do want to smith a little faster, the Superheat Form spell will not drain your prayer while you're using the Orphan Furnace Core. Now, unfortunately, most of you guys may not have the Scripture of Bik, and if you don't, I can still show you how to get clues. Let's start with hard clues, and actually there's some upgrades here that you can get from this guy, and it is the cannon upgrades. The restocking cannon is probably the most important one. And you can also get the Dwarf Cannon upgrade kit. Looks like it's about 51 mil on the GE right now. Don't know if it's actually buying or selling for that. But you can also get those as a drop from the enemies on your way to Karapak. And I used to kill Hellhounds for my hard clues, and by far the best place to do it in large groups is at the Taverley Hellhound Dungeon, resource dungeon here. Gaining access to the Hellhound resource dungeon only requires 55 dungeoneering. With that, you can get inside the door. If not, you could probably just kill them outside. It'd be a little slower, but it'll be alright. There is a large amount, and it's usually not too crowded. You may have to hop a few worlds if there's someone here, just to be polite. And if you don't have 99 dungeoneering for the cape, you can always teleport to Taverley and run south and either over these stones or around the river to get down the steps. And with a good enough agility level, you can jump over this strange door and walk all the way up north to get to the door. And if you don't have 99 dungeoneering, you'll of course have to run all the way around past the Chaos Druids into the Blue Dragon's door. Hopefully you have the Dusty Key on your tool ring. If not, you can get it from Velrak the Explorer inside the Black Knight's base. Travel all the way down and then back up north to the Hellhounds, and the resource dungeon is right there on the left. Now, when you get inside, to kind of maximize your kills, you want to put your Dwarf Cannon over on this side. Don't forget to activate it, of course. And then you need to bring your character over here and stand sort of in this general area. Now, of course, you're going to want to bring some style that you can do a lot of AoE damage, and Nox Scythe is perfect for that. If you've got Greater Chain or Greater Ricochet, you could use the other styles just as fine. If you're going to do with a scythe, you can use a bar similar to mine. And what this does is it focuses the area of effect hits like Quake and Hurricane and Cleave, along with Meteor Strike. Once you have enough adrenaline, it does all those before it tries to do all of its other abilities. And one thing that will help a lot is getting the Asylum Surgeon's Ring. This will allow you to, every once in a while save a little bit of adrenaline when you're using those threshold attacks. You'll of course want to bring your spring cleaner to clean up all the salvage drops that you get, and your clue bag so that you can put all your clues inside of it. Of course, I'm not going to get any clues here because I'm over the 50 threshold mark. Clues can stack up to 50 if you've got the Karos Clue Carrier upgrade from the Clue Scroll reward shop. If not, they will stack up to 25 by default. And one thing that can help you save a lot of resources is bringing your Demon Horn necklace. This you can get from the Dungeoneering reward shop outside Daemonheim. And what this does is pretty much every time you bury bones, which happens when you have your bone crusher on your tool belt set to burying normal bones, what it's going to do is it's going to continuously give you prayer each time you bury bones. So if I use Soul Split here and continuously get my health back, you can see that I am not draining any prayer. It basically just stays at full. And with Soul Split here, you're pretty much going to stay alive no problem at all. As you can see, my health is comfortably going back up. And if you're like me and you have the Excalibur and the Ancient Elven Ritual Shard and you bring it everywhere you go, this can be used to gain, passive healing and passive prayer, which is very useful in lots of scenarios, especially with Slayer and killing lots of monsters like this. And with that, you'll be just fine. And I used to kill shadow creatures for my elite clues, and unfortunately, we can't use our cannons, and we're actually going to change out our Demon Horn necklace for a Blood Amulet of Fury instead, for a little bit more passive healing. These things can tend to hit a little bit harder. Where you want to kill them at, and here's in Prif. If you've got Prif unlocked, walk inside here and there's a good amount of shadows in here for you to kill. I'm not going to crash this guy, but if you're lucky enough to have shadow creatures in your player-owned dungeon, you can pretty much bring the same set as I had before, a melee set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pray melee. I've got my Vampirism aura on, and I actually want to go back to that bar I was using. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw Devotion all the way into the front here. When this procs, my prayer is going to make them all hit ones. My Vampirism aura is going to heal me back up. And if I need to, I can always use my Excalibur to get myself some more health. You may need to bring a few prey flasks if you want to stay here a long time. You can always bring those Lanodyme incense sticks to increase your potion timers as well. Okay, so you've got a lot of clues now and you're wanting to get them solved. Now I've got a pretty good inventory setup, I would think so. And I'm going to pull it up here. Now there are going to be a lot of items to go through and I may not go over them very well. So if there's anything that you need more information on, while you're in game actually, you can do /wiki and type in an item. It'll pull up its wiki page and you can figure out everything you need to do to get this item or what to do with it. Okay, let's get started. So starting off, we've got the Attuned Crystal Teleport Seed. This is a normal teleport seed, but you've imbued it with a bunch of harmonic dust so that it does never degrade. And there's lots of clue steps that involve Prif and Hall of Tirwin in general, so it's good, useful to get around the map. And next we've got the Big Book of Piracy, and this is a quest reward from the Pieces of Hate. This is used a lot to teleport to Brain Death Island and also Mos Leharmas. This item is really useful for hard clues, mostly I would say, but it's also useful for elites. It is the Dave's Spellbook, and this allows you to have sort of an alternate teleport to what the normal spells will send you to. So like for the Faldor one, you'll be sent up into the middle of the square, but with the Dave's Spellbook, it'll send you at the south gate of Faldor instead. It's useful for going to the Watchtower and Ardoin, I would say the most. Now moving on, we've got the Draken's Medallion. This is very useful for teleporting around Mauritania. Now, if you're not already in Mauritania, it will use a charge to use to teleport there. But if you teleport to Canifis first, then use the Draken's Medallion, you'll never end up using charges. Now next, we've got the Portable Fairy Rings. We've got one out ready to use that has some charges remaining. And then we got a stack ready to replenish that one once we use it, because we tend to use these quite a bit with doing both hards, elites, and masters sometimes. And next in the list, we've got the Juju Teleport Seed. This allows you to teleport right around where the Juju plantation is. There's a few hard clue steps over here that tend to pop up very frequently, so it's useful to have that because it's pretty hard to get there in the first place. You can buy these on the Grand Exchange. Next, we've got a spade. Now, if you put this on your action bar, you can actually dig pretty fast. If you're not sure where the spot is, it's pretty useful to have the spade on your action bar so that you can just spam that action and hopefully find the clue a lot quicker. Next pictured here, we've got the Ectophile, and this allows you to teleport to the Ectofungus, which is very useful for those northeastern Canifis clue steps. Now the Heart Teleport, this is basically what it says. It teleports you to the Heart, which is where God Wars Dungeon 2 is. Teleports you right in the middle, so it's very useful. You can pretty much figure out where you need to go as soon as you get there. Next, just like the Portable Fairy Rings, we've got the Spirit Tree Rerouters. And this allows you to use a Spirit Tree teleport to everyone that you have unlocked. It's very useful for clues when you're trying to get to those hard to reach places. Now this one is one you may not have seen before and you may not be able to get, but don't worry, I do have an alternate for this one. But what this is the Passage of the Abyss. And what this allows you to do is store up a whole bunch of different teleport jewelry that you can fit. It holds up to 6 different pieces. And you can of course have multiple of these if you need them. Now if you don't have the Passage of the Abyss, the Teleportation Compactor, this is going to allow you to store up a whole bunch of charges into one singular piece of jewelry, instead of having to replenish your inventory every time your jewelry breaks down to dust. Very useful when you're first starting out, but I highly suggest going for that Passage of the Abyss if you can afford it. Now, next in the list, we have the Grace of the Elves. Now this will allow you to teleport to whatever you have attuned in your max garden, and what I generally use is the Deep Sea Fishing Hub. This allows me to get inside the fishing guild really quickly. And then I've got also the Overgrown Idols, and what this is probably the most used one that I have, but it allows me to get really quickly to a gnome glider. Now next we've got the Ring of Kinship. This is used to get to Daemonheim, useful for clues There's a few hards and elites up there right around the dungeon lobby, and be sure to bring that because this is an item that most players can get. Now next we have the Tokuzol charged. I'm not sure if it needs to be charged or not. This is going to allow you to teleport around the Tazar area. The most used place is the Fight Cave. There is a very quick fairy ring to get to, and there's lots of clue steps around this area as well. Now next we have a few journals here. We've got the Menaphos journal and the Arc journal. These are used pretty much, you could put charges into them. You can teleport all around Menaphos, or you can teleport all around the Arc. It's very useful for multiple clues. Next in this little list here is pretty niche for hard clues. It has one really good teleport that you could teleport to the Legends Guild. Couple things that are going to be harder to get is the Fremnik Sea Boots 4. This is going to allow you to teleport to Relica right into the center, which is very useful for getting to either the two colonies in the north and also a bunch of clue steps that are around the Fremnik province. And next we have the Karamja Gloves 4. Of course, this is another area task reward, but what this does, this allows you to teleport into the north of Shiloh Village. There's a bookcase here, and there's a few clue steps to dig around here. Now next we have the Pharaoh Scepter, and you can get this on the Grand Exchange or in the Pyramid Plunder minigame. Now what this allows you to do is allows you to teleport to different pyramids around the desert. Pyramid Plunder one is very useful for the Sophonim clues. Next on this list is the Archaeology Journal. This allows you to teleport to Archaeology Center, and then you can click all the dig sites and go straight there really quick. Don't have to bring the whole archaeology outfit. And then we've got the 6 Age Circuit. This will allow you to teleport to mainly the World Gate. I use that one the most, and Gothic Shrine sometimes. And then lastly in this setup, we've got our two 99 capes, Slayer and Dungeoneering. Of course, the Slayer cape allows you to teleport to all the different masters around Gilnor, and the Dungeoneering cape allows you to teleport to multiple resource dungeons. And these two are probably the most useful you can get. So I highly suggest training up those skills, getting these 99 capes. It'll help you out in the future. And looking at my gear setup, you can see I've also got the Desert Amulet 4. For this one, you don't need to go all the way up to the elite tasks. I believe if you get the Desert Amulet 2 or 3, it's going to give you some useful teleports. Now having the Tier 1 Quiver 4, it gives you unlimited teleports around to different camps. Very useful for when you're trying to find that sneaky Tier 1 clue scan. Now I do like to bring dual wield so that I can bladed dive around the map, and on one of them you're going to want to make sure you get at least glowworm, and on the other you're going to want to make sure you get mobile. Mobile is going to allow your surge and bladed dive to have reduced cooldowns, and glowworm allows you to have a light source without having to have one in your inventory. And then of course you're going to want the Globetrotter outfit. Once you can obtain it, the jacket can allow you to teleport directly where you need to. If you've got some pesky clues that take a long time to get to, the Globetrotter backpack can straight out skip a clue. This does not progress you through your step through solving the clue, but this allows you to re-roll that step and find a different one. Another one that's very useful are the Globetrotter shorts. This allows you to immediately do whatever emote you need to for certain clue steps where you need to have an outfit and then do an emote. The boots, they allow you to replenish your run if your run ever gets to 0. Now the arm guards is arguably one of the first ones, or maybe one of the close to the first ones you should get, because this allows you to store all those teleport scrolls you've been getting from clues. Very useful for all types of clues. Now I suggest start using meerkat pouches when you start doing elites and master clues. They can be useful for hard clues, but you tend to wipe those enemies out pretty quickly, but they tend to start hitting a little bit harder when you get into the elite and master clues. Now what the meerkats can do, it can increase the scan clues that you get from masters and elites by 5. What the most important thing they can do is they can actually dig for you, and this will prevent a wizard from spawning. Now of course, to be able to dig with the meerkat, you're going to have to load it up with a bunch of the meerkat fetch casket scrolls. Now this clue setup is mainly used for hard clues. Now if I want to do something like elites, what I might do is I might take out my Juju teleport seed, and I'd bring some Dorgishan Con spheres. These allow you to teleport all around Dorgishan. It's very useful for elites. And I'd probably throw in my Skull Scepter as well. Another thing you may not need for elite clues is the Legends Cape, so if you want to bring some puzzle skipping tickets, you're more than welcome to. That will of course speed up your elites drastically, because you do get a lot of puzzles when you're doing elites. And looking at here, might be what my inventory might look like when I'm starting to do master clues. I take out a lot of stuff, but I make sure to bring my cooking cape. That's one thing I do add. And what I suggest is having ingredients. There are quite a few weird steps you need to do for masters, like making a Saradomin brew, or maybe adding a fire room to a decorated cooking urn. And you want to make sure that you start stacking up on these things so that you can do it really quickly. You'll soon find out what you need. Wild pies. You may want to use a couple sips of power burst to quickly finish off a rune helm or something. But I do try to keep the core inventory set up, because the way I have my inventory here is I can easily right click and get Max Garden. I can easily right click, get Daemonheim, easily right click. Everything is lined up here perfectly, so that when I hit teleport, except for this doesn't need to be here. But you've got your capes too. I've got them so low here on the interface that when I right click, it's already hovering over activate, so I don't accidentally drop it or use it. I'm not trying to find my space here in the inventory, and I can easily left click, right click, and I'm there. I can pick where I want to go. A lot of things here are set up like that. I've got the gloves here. It's kind of a stretch. You got to be up here in the corner. I've learned to work it like that. This one here for Relica, it's kind of down here at the bottom. But if you generally try to set your inventory up like this, it'll help you out in the long run, because you can quickly click on things and get to where you need to go. Okay, let's talk about Alt 1 a little bit. Now, if you go into the map part, you can hover here down at the bottom. Click this cogwheel, and this is where you can set up lots of your custom teleports, especially if you have a Passage of the Abyss. You can set that up. What you've got favorited on your fairy rings, be sure to set this before you do any more clues. This can save you a lot of time. And wait, before you do any more clues, make sure you have the Totem of Treasure unlocked. It's pretty simple. There's 3 pieces you need to get. One of them is from Big Game Hunter. The middle piece is done by doing the agility course. The third piece is for finding your first 20 ancient zygomites. You can look up a quick guide on the wiki. They're all in the same place for everybody. And for hard clues, I like to use the normal spell book to teleport around, and having the Abyssal Link relic active is very useful. It takes all of my unused prayers here, and all of a sudden I can use them. I don't need any runes at all. If you don't have that, you're gonna have to bring a couple rune pouches with some law runes and different elemental runes to help get you around the world. For hard clues, it's mostly going to a certain spot and digging, or having a certain costume and doing your remote clue. But occasionally some NPCs can give you sliding puzzles, and these are easily done by using Alt 1. Now you can actually change the slider speed settings to have it either move faster or slower depending on your needs. Now I generally try to keep it around 0.2. That seems to be pretty good speed for me. When you start doing elites, you're going to start to notice a lot more of the sliding puzzles along with the knot puzzles. These are pretty easy with Alt 1, and you'll also start to see scan clues. Now scan clues can be a little bit difficult to start off with. However, the little ring that's pulsing underneath you is the best indicator for you when you're looking for these scan clues. You will start to see this pulsing get faster and faster, and when you see that and you know that the place that you're looking for is starting to be real close by, and along with Alt 1 and being able to see your range and know what is just out of your reach, you can start to narrow it down where that dig spot may be. The most challenging thing sometimes about elite clues can be the compass steps. Now Alt 1 has a very nice triangulation tool for this. For example, if I hover over Cast Mana Farm and hit Alt 1 on my keypad, it will then automatically plot that line for me when I get there. If not, you can always click the button at the top. And then I might go to, say, Lumbridge here and also do the same thing, Alt 1 over Lumbridge Teleport. And what this will do is triangulate where I need to go. Now for master clues, you're going to start seeing all the different types of puzzles you can get with clue scrolls. And the two new ones that are going to start popping up are the lock boxes, which are pretty easy with Alt 1, as well as the towers. They're not too bad. However, I do recommend right clicking and selecting 4 and 5 manually. You'll wear your finger out really quickly if you just click every single one every single time. It's going to be a little hard to click those interfaces really quickly starting off, but you'll get into a rhythm, don't worry. Now with that, I believe I've covered pretty much everything I've wanted to cover in a clue scroll guide. It's pretty general. I'm not focusing on any tier whatsoever. Hopefully you guys have found something useful. Hopefully I've taught you something new. If not, if I could have added something else, or if there's something else you still don't quite understand, be sure to comment down below. Let me know and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. And with all that, I wish you guys the best of luck in your clue scroll adventures. Hopefully you get nice broadcasts, make lots of money, whatever you're looking for. But until next time guys, this has been Inari.